Well, welcome to the Fantasy Football Channel. We are the Schluter Bros. Today is a special day as we roast, boast, and toast to the 2025 fantasy football season. Fantasy football is easy to talk about. It's hard to be right. So today we are going back through the 2025 season and breaking down what we got right, why it worked, and more importantly, what you should actually care about. And most importantly, clean out your ears, tune in, and subscribe. Adam, let's roast and toast. Cheers to 2025 fantasy football season.
Cheers, brother. Let's have a good one. I'm excited about this one today. We are starting right off with the roast, diving on into it. I am going to roast my brother over there on this is stuff we didn't get right. You know, we predict a lot of things on the show. We say a lot of things, and we're going to own up to what we got wrong. Kyle, first and foremost, we're starting with Packers wide receivers. You stated very clearly that either Jaden Reed or Matthew Golden would have a good year. You didn't know which one. You said one of them would, and we can, in fact, say that they both sucked badly. Reed obviously got injured with his shoulder injury, and Matthew Golden is phenomenal. I blame this not on Matthew Golden nor your prediction, but on Matt LaFleur being a terrible coach for this instance and not getting him the ball. He got him the ball in the playoffs game against the Bears. What did he do? 80 yards and a touchdown. Looks amazing. Looks like a freak athlete. So athletically, you got Golden right, but in terms of production, you did not. Moving on, and this is going to be, you guys, this is a category for Kyle all year long. Tight ends. Don't ever
plagued me this year. I had a curse on tight ends.
Don't ever listen to Kyle's tight end projections ever again, because he effed it up so badly this year. Week in and week out, he'd play Goddard when he put up 2 points. He'd bench him when he'd get 2 touchdowns. He did that with Andrews. He did that with a couple other ones. But he also very clearly stated that he thought Evan Ingram would have a phenomenal year.
No. I said he'd be startable for fantasy, and he wasn't. He sucked.
He was not even that. Okay, he didn't say phenomenal, but nonetheless, he sucked big time. It was a no-go. Another one heading over to the Kansas City Chiefs, Xavier Worthy also sucked pretty badly, and he got injured a little bit. So the upside there was not there, and something we're gonna have to really cue in on next year with Rashee Rice and the other guys there to see, is he even draftable next year? Because where it stands right now, he ain't for me. More tight ends that you boasted about. Mark Andrews, where are you at, homie? Why couldn't you get the ball this year? I know we got our new up-and-comer behind you who's sucking some targets, and Zay Flowers had a solid year, which we'll get into, which I did not expect. But nonetheless, don't ever listen to this guy for tight ends. Stick to running backs and receivers if you're listening to words coming off my brother's mouth. What you got?
All right. That's well received. I was just plagued in big tuna with tight ends. And, dude, Goddard finished as tight end 2 in standard scoring is what I'm seeing here. And I had him in, I locked him in 3 straight weeks into my lineup, and he had 3 straight weeks of 2 points.
Dude, they don't want to perform on your team. It's clear. You might as well just leave that slot open.
Miserable. All right, Adam. Trey Harris, where's he at?
Well,
fantasy relevant.
This is true. But Keenan Allen came in and stole the show for him, and Huge did way better than I expected.
It was Huge, who I was higher on than you were, is who had a better performance, especially the beginning of the season.
Yep.
We both missed out on Drake May. Drake May looks like he's QB2 here to end the season. So, wow, huge year for him.
Yeah, analysts were high on him, and now we know why. He is phenomenal. He is the real deal, and good for him. He shut us up. He proved us wrong, which is exactly what we asked of him.
Yeah, and it was a hit and a fit with bringing back Josh McDaniels over there as offensive coordinator with Mike Vrabel as the head coach. So, interesting there. And then I got to roast us both. We both left Travis Etienne for dead. He ended up finished as RB9 in standard scoring. We left him for dead.
They got rid of Bigsby. Bigsby went to the Eagles. Bigsby did very well for the Eagles, but that opened up just even more targets and shares and carries for him.
Even still, he played way better than we thought he would have.
He went back to 2 years ago where he was a top 10 running back, so good for him.
And, you know, some of that's probably the Liam Cohen effect as well, right? New head coach over there.
I mean, the Jags offense overall surprised the heck out of the league. Trevor Lawrence stepped up, and Etienne was very effective in the receiving game this year. 1 week, he had 3 touchdowns, so yeah.
And then I have to roast you for being so high on Isaiah Pacheco.
Come on now.
Sucked this year. And I know you had him on a squad too, so it hurt your running back room over there.
I had him in Dynasty, in which it was inherited, but he sucked. The Chiefs sucked, and you don't want Chiefs running backs. I could tell you that. Never again. Never again.
And You were also out on any Baltimore wide receiver.
Forever.
And good old Zay Flowers finished as Diva 8 standard scoring.
Yeah, I don't even
So
believe this one.
you dropped the ball on that one as well.
I'll live
And
and
then
die
we
by that.
both failed on Javonte Williams.
Yes, we did.
We pretty much left him for dead. Finished as RB11 standard scoring. So great resurgence for his career over there in Dallas. You want me to keep going with my boast?
Nope. I'm
Or
gonna
you wanna
go.
jump in?
I'm gonna go to Boast, and we'll get you to Boast. All right, Boast. This is where I'm gonna toot my own horn a little bit. These are players that we echoed all year long that were great values and great picks, and they lived up to the hype. And I'm starting with my boy Jameson Williams for the Detroit Lions. Diva number 2 on that team, finished as Diva 10 in standard scoring, and having the number 1 go down helped him, but man, he is so fast. He is so freaky. They got him the ball towards the end of the season, especially, which was great to see. And Amon-Ra St. Brown went down, and JMO stepped up even more. He had all the target share then. So that's something to keep in mind if he ever goes down again. Someone else that I was high on that everyone left for dead, I got him in Big Tuna at quite the value, which helped me win a Super Bowl this year, I might add. And that is Chris Olave, finishing as Diva number 6. Dude's a freak athlete. He's dealt with some concussions and injuries in the past, but the quarterback got him the ball, and man, did he have a season. Look out for Chris Olave early on in next year's draft. Someone that's kind of an asterisk next to this one, but someone I rode hard was J.K. Dobbins, and he started phenomenal before he fell off and then died with an injury, but he went 14, 15, 15, 11, 15, 4, 9, 14 in his first 8 weeks, and then he fell off, and then he got injured out for the season. But nonetheless, J.K. Dobbins was a great value pick for early on in the year, and last but not least, on someone I boast about, this isn't too surprising, but Devon Achane, I'm high as heck on him. In standard, he finished as RB7. In PPR, you throw on an extra 67 receptions. That's the real deal. That's top 3 running back potential. And Achane really impressed me this year with running the football, Kyle. Everyone thinks him as a scat back, receiving guy only. They pounded him inside and outside the tackles.
Last year.
And
we learned that last year, and it happened again.
1,350 rushing yards, 5.7 yards per carry on a slightly pitiful Miami Dolphins team. Well done, Devon Achane. You are the king of that team. And that I am done tooting my own horn until next season. Kyle, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, with him also, now I just want to almost swing back the other way and worry about his size and longevity a little bit. He's taken a lot of work. He's done so well between the tackles. Jalen Wright did start to come on and perform in rare opportunities, I would say, toward the end. And then Ollie Gordon also was pretty productive when he had the ball, too. We'll break those guys down in the offseason a little further.
The running back health window is 23 to 25, where they remain the most healthy. So Achane's got one more good year healthy in him before I'm selling on him being injury prone.
Okay.
It's a thing. It's a real thing.
All right. Yeah, those were all good calls. You also said JSN would have 150 targets. You made a bet on the air about that. Did Tony owe you some money or what?
Tony paid up. You were a good man, Tony. Right. Paid up. Right. And who would have thought? Number 1 wide receiver, 150 targets. There was no one else to throw the ball to. It had to. Yeah. It had to.
Okay, I'm going to boast about James Cook. You know, there was a lot of noise about his touchdown falling off from the prior year, and the guy just went out and performed every single game and battled. I think he ended up as RB4 on the season in standard scoring. That looks like
the Bills run the football. That Bills offense, they run the football. Best rushing offense in the league. That's what they do.
I mean, I drafted him in the 3rd round in Tuna, so... You know, happy to get him where you could, and anyone was probably happy that they drafted him where they did. So I'm going to toot my horn on that. Emeka Egbuka. I said, it's like I had a crystal ball for Tampa Bay's wide receiver room. I said he's the best looking option here for drafting fantasy receivers, and he was. And I don't want to, throw any curses or anything, but I said likely Godwin and Evans will not play as much this year, and that's what happened. So got to toot my horn there a little bit. Caleb Williams, Bears quarterback, a little Ben Johnson effect, and he ended up finishing as quarterback 5. So huge leap forward for him in his career. Good weapons, good head coach around him.
The Ben Johnson effect is real, and we proved that this year. However, he is now our freaking enemy, and I hate this guy's guts now. That disrespect to the floor after that 3rd game and saying F the Packers and all that. I love it because we're rivalries, and that's all right. But now it's rivalry time. Next year, we're out for blood. We're out for blood for those guys.
Next up, I told you to fade Baker and Mahomes, and that's what you should have done. Fade them both. And I was higher on Herbert, and Justin Herbert, finished ahead of both those guys in fantasy. this year.
I want
Next
to
up,
echo the Mahomes one because I think I faded at just as much as you, saying they are no longer the Chiefs they once were, and that is truer than ever this year.
yeah, and he still finished as quarterback 11, right? So, and he got
Not where he's
injured
getting drafted, though.
at
Not
the
where he's
end.
getting drafted. He's getting
Yes, I
drafted
agree.
top
And he
six.
did he did actually have a decent year for fantasy, but finished as quarterback 11 there, and
Still Rasheed
outside of
Rice.
where all of the experts probably had him at. And next up, we had Dak at quarterback 6 on our Schluter rankings. Dak finished at quarterback 6.
I'm
Doesn't
talking
get
about.
any better than that. I also had Josh Allen at quarterback 1. Josh Allen finished as quarterback 1. Pickens finished as Diva 4 in standard. Georgie P, very bullish on him. Had him in Big Tuna. Helped me get to the championship game. He did fall off a bit in the playoffs, and that hurt my team. Um,
Did the Cowboys
Nonetheless,
bring him back after he finished that year? He finished like crap. Like he finished with some attitude issues, dropping some balls, kind of fell off a
yeah, that'll
cliff.
be
I don't.
interesting to see what happens in the offseason.
I
And
think
of
he lost
course,
10 mil.
CD did have an injury as well, so part of the reason he got some points.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then RJ Harvey also finished as RB22 in standard scoring, even higher in PPR, I'm sure. And I was bullish on him for a second half of the season push, and that's exactly what happened.
Yep, this one's a real shame. We went head to head pretty hard on this one over some episodes. I really wish J.K. Dobbins would have stayed healthy the whole year so we could have gotten a full picture of these two head to head. I think it would have been close, but J.K. Dobbins started so strong, I think he would have took it. Nonetheless, you were right. Harvey did well, but without Dobbins getting injured, I don't know.
Yeah. So, what did you learn, Adam, from 2025 Fantasy Football Channel?
I learned that we're good in some areas and we're pretty bad in some others, to be quite frank. But more importantly, the younger guys, especially with the way the NFL has been adapting and evolving, the younger guys can be impactful in the first season. With people like Mbuka, with these other rookies out there, with some of these rookie quarterbacks doing good, I always kind of faded them more because I always wanted to see a year in the NFL first. And what I learned is if they look great and the team's talking high up on them, and there's enough targets or share volume to get them, don't turn your nose up at them like I've done in the past. That's what I learned. What'd you learn this year?
I learned that some of our rankings and off-season work is better than what a lot of the experts do and say.
Oh,
And
shots
then
fired.
some big takeaways. Coaching, I knew it mattered, but it really matters a
Wow.
lot for
Wow.
fantasy and the players and the teams. Think about the Ben Johnson effect on Caleb Williams, how he looked his previous season compared to how he looked this season to finish as quarterback 5.
Night and
Think
day.
about Liam Cohen's effect on Trevor Lawrence.
Night
Trevor
and day.
Lawrence also finished as quarterback 4. So that's massive for him. There's a whole bunch of other guys and scenarios we could bring up. You could even say the Liam Cohen effect on ETN, and talking about taking him away from Tampa Bay and the slide from Bucky, right? So there's a lot of ways you can dice it, but the off-season homework matters. Coaching, skill, everything all comes together. So anything else you want to talk about here? Any other final roasts or boasts?
There's one last boast I forgot about, and that is I beat your booty in the championship for a damn Super Bowl ring. And that's all that matters.
Well, we'll boast that we both got to the championship in Big Tuna, and the league wants to disassemble the league because of it.
20 years,
And
20 years, and we finally face each other head to head in the Super Bowl the year after we create this channel. That's pretty cool.
yeah, and I mean, the team I had probably shouldn't have been there. My best pick was injured, and I just kept having enough to get me there. And I did some surprising big points scored in the playoffs for fantasy. But it wasn't enough for the championship. And guys like James Cook let me down in the championship. He had a tough matchup.
Yep.
George Pickens, etc. Some of those key players we mentioned that got me there weren't the ones I needed to win it. So,
Yep.
congrats, you did win it, your first championship in that league.
Thank
Anything
you, sir.
else?
No, it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. We got more coming.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to the Fantasy Football channel. We will catch you guys in the next one.